either. So.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Tuesday, April 11th meeting of the City of Danville Public Works Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Michael Kane.
Here.
Alicia Ford.
Present.
Bob Iverson.
Here.
Jim Pichard.
Here.
Carolyn Wands.
Present.
Heidi Wilson. Chairman Mike Poor.
Present.
6 present.
6 present. Thank you. Item number 2 is the approval of the minutes. These will be from the March 14th, 23 meeting. If there's no corrections, need a motion to approve, please.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 3, approve the agenda. We will be removing under 9E. We'll be pulling that resolution until a later date to get some more clarification. So we'll be pulling 9E. And with that removal from the agenda, is there a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item number 4, audience comments.
Does anyone need to fill out a card who wishes to speak this evening? Guess we don't have any, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Item number 5, chairman's comments. Really don't have anything. Just go out and enjoy this beautiful weather, get sunburned. Feels pretty good. But yeah, enjoy the beautiful weather. Okay, moving on to item number 6, approval of the payrolls. These will be from the April 6, 23 run. Need a motion to approve those, please?
So moved.
Second.
Questions on the payrolls? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pichard.
Yes.
Wands.
Yes.
Wilson. O'Kane.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Under item number 7, vouchers payable, we have several. We'll be approving the regular run of 4/11/23 and 2 special runs, one of 4/6 and of 23 and one of 4/11 of 23. Need a motion to put those on the table, please?
Moved. Second.
Okay, questions on the payables?
I need education.
Okay,
Okay, on 3 or 4, there's a deal for deep walk research sidewalk scanning. What is that and what is it used for?
So that is a technology, like a technology or platform we're using to scan sidewalks. Last year we scanned about 20 to 25% of all the sidewalks in the city. It detects trip hazards and issues, curb ramps, stuff like that. So
Well, that's topical.
what's that?
The tripping.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's looking for issues so that rather than our staff like trying to physically measure everything, you're scanning it with the cell phone, like LiDAR on a cell phone. It's identifying all this data. So over a couple of years, we expect to scan the whole city and hopefully have a full inventory
Okay,
of.
so it's not looking for holes underneath the.
No, it's
Okay.
it's literally just looking for like trip hazard, the actual
Okay.
sidewalk itself.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Second question is on 404. For Marin County Safety Action Plan, is that for basically, was that $31,000?
Yeah, I can. So that's through the Danville Area Transportation Study. That's basically a county-wide safety study that we have a consultant basically facilitating that should be completed by June of this year. So it's a fairly large project that will make us compliant for a certain federal grant and a lot of other grants as well.
Okay, and then Q's high cube TV inspection vehicle. Is that what we voted on like a year and a half ago for sewer inspections?
That's correct. That's to replace the current TV truck, yes.
That's all I had.
Okay.
Educated.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Wands.
Yes.
Wilson. O'Kane.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Pichard.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Moving on to item number 8, Public Transportation, Director Beath, items of information, monthly report. Anything jumping out?
And I don't have anything additional unless anyone has any questions about my summary. So.
Any more Zoom meetings going on or anything?
I'm sorry?
Any Zoom meetings upcoming with,
No, we had an actual in-person meeting last week, but that
Okay.
was just for, a small group,
okay,
so.
because the reps from Washington things want to be involved when we
Right,
have Zoom meetings and things, so,
right.
okay. Thank you very much. Question for the director? Okay. Moving on to item number 9, Public Works Director Carpenter. 9A is a resolution approving a development agreement with Subwars LLC, Danville Series. Need a motion to put that on the table?
So moved.
Second.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
I'll start it, and Sam can chip in if I'm missing anything, throw him under the bus. So this has been a long time coming, this development on this corner. Sam and I, Corporation Counsel Simon, have been assembling land on the northwest corner of Fairchild and Vermilion, as you're aware, since I started here. And I know it was the acquisition of the Gaudio building and the Quick Lube on the corner there was acquired many years before I was even a Gulick building was acquired long before that. So I started working with, and if you have any questions, with the developer, Patrick Wampler, who's in the back in the blue back there, about 3 years ago on this project. After many assessments on the site and acquired a little bit more land because it's so long and slender, we came up with the development agreement before you tonight, which is essentially the donation of all the property listed and 50-50 cost share of the shed property that sits north of the Hardee's and the dumpster enclosure to the north of Hardee's. Okay? In return, they will be constructing a Sonic and Jimmy John's, and there's minimum dollar amounts listed that they need to meet certain thresholds on construction, which is going to be roughly at minimum $3 to $4 million. That's what they felt comfortable agreeing to. And there's other sales points that they need to meet for the first couple of years so we can generate sales tax back on this on top of property tax dollars into the Midtown TIF district, okay? A couple other items that are listed in this redevelopment agreement is there's a rezone required for 2 properties. It's the northern 2 addresses on the site, 1 alley vacation, and then, like I said, the 50-50 cost share of the shed property. Missing anything? Any questions for myself or the developer?
You did that without notes.
What?
You did that without notes.
Yeah, been working on it a long time.
I was gonna say, we've been working on this a long time.
Questions?
So, are we still negotiating a price on the shed property?
So the developer is required to secure an option, which they have before this development agreement came here tonight. And if I'm speaking correctly, I believe the price is $100,000.
And that's 50/50.
That's 50-50.
Anything else, Vice Mayor? Anything else?
No, I'm done.
Mr. Chairman?
Is there a time frame that they're guaranteeing that they're gonna be in business?
Yeah, what did we set that at? 2 years?
Construction,
I think
construction
I want to say it was
within
they have to submit
365.
building permits within
Well, I know they have
365
to-
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's they got 2 years, a year to get the building put together and a year to get it built after that. But what, is there longevity? Are they guaranteeing they're gonna be in business for 3, 4, 5, 6 years after that?
Yeah, so I believe there is language in the contract. Sam's looking through it right now, but there is a recaptured language placed in the redevelopment agreement that if this project is not completed, the land will, and anything built on it will come back into the possession of the city.
Well, I'm saying, once they get open, do they have to stay open so long?
I believe so. We'll have to look into that.
Okay, and then what kind of property taxes? They're not gonna pay property taxes on the $1, are they?
Oh, no,
Gonna be
no.
on market value?
No. Yeah, they'll pay on market value for the 2 buildings and the land value.
Okay.
Yeah.
The great thing is right now we receive, because it's our property, no property tax from it. So you'll go from receiving nothing to taxes on, around $3 million, which a third of which is $1 million. So
And some of that will go back into the TIF.
Probably like 95+% of that value
How
will
long
go
is that for? 10
into
years?
the TIF. No, for the life of the TIF, this Midtown TIF is its first life period is until 2028, and we have an option to extend it for 10+ years, 10 years after that.
Okay.
So 18 years of increase.
We made some good money when we had Carl.
Yeah.
And you thought,
Yeah.
TIF.
you thought too that we'd, what, about 6-year payback back in TIF?
Yeah, so there's no real justification. Obviously, we can do the math on what we have invested into the land, but typically we like to, whenever the city is investing dollars into a project, we like to see a payback within 5 to 7 years of those dollars.
And we anticipate meeting that, Chairman.
Oh, yeah.
And I do have
Exceeding that probably.
I did get the answer on the time frame. Basically, they have 365 days to submit for building permits. Then from the time building permits are issued, they have 365 days to complete construction. If they do not, we have the ability to request that they transfer the parcels back to us via quitclaim deed, at basically our request at the end of that period. So be ready, Patrick.
I think they'll be way open way before then.
Yeah.
And what page was
One
that
more
on?
quick question, because everybody in town's asked me. Are they gonna be able to access from Vermillion? I seriously doubt that they could egress, but access, I would think so.
So I will comment on. We don't know for sure what the state is going to say because they haven't had a formal site plan submitted yet. We're anticipating they will have more restrictions than what there are now. We're anticipating one access point off of Vermillion Street. One of the big reasons, really the primary reason for really wanting to get the shed property dealt with is to have an access that goes through to Walnut Street so that there's a way to leave the site without trying to turn left or something out onto Vermillion. That's the big push. We don't know for sure if they'll allow an in and out or whatever off of Fairchild. So we think that we're set up for success.
Now, in the past, haven't they been like, they want something 300 foot back or something?
They do, and I think they'll definitely work with us on access. They'll have to allow something. The way that the developer's done a good job of setting themselves up for their ideal scenario and then a backup plan. I think so.
Okay. That's all I have.
Other questions? Other ones, you have something? No? Just itching your nose? Okay. All right, roll call please on 9A. I guess I should have taken 9B with it, but
You could ask for an amendment.
can we add 9B that deals with the same property?
Sure.
Okay.
Alderman Burchard and Wallen seconded.
Need a motion and second to add B to that same.
Alderman Pashard and Wands, do you consent to that amendment, the friendly amendment?
Okay.
You did it.
All right, so we'll be voting on 9A and B, both dealing with the Subwars LLC. Okay. Madam Clerk, roll call.
We don't have any discussion on B then? Everything?
Does anybody have any discussion on A and B? Okay, no.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item 9C is a resolution approving the CDBG Annual Action Plan for Program Year 2023. Need a motion to put that on the table, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
And this is going to be kind of like A and B, C and D go hand in hand together.
Okay, let's do that again. Can we take C and D together? If so, need a motion to take C and D together and a
So
second.
moved, yeah.
Okay, there we are.
Okay. So for those of you that are new to the city council, this will be the first time hearing this, but for those that have been around for a bit, this will be kind of a regurgitation in the past. So what you have before you tonight is our annual community development block grant action plan. This is a basis off of the city's 2020 5-year consolidated plan. So the city council and city staff have already allocated the dollars that are in this plan in 2020. It can be amended, so there can be new numbers, but you'll see that in the consolidated plan before you see the allocations in the action plan. So basically what I'm saying is there's no surprise here. I just wanted to go over some of the funding topics. It's a 100+ page plan, but the important part is the allocation of funds and what it's for. So project number one it's for public improvements and infrastructure. These are typically roadway, sidewalks. We can do sanitary, drainage improvements, stuff like that. But the key emphasis is that it has to be in a census or block group that is low to moderate income. Okay, so the two projects we've already done in the past couple of years are Beard Street and Edward Street. Those are kind of the tracks that Sam and I look into. Oh, and Harrison Street, excuse me. And then we do home rehabilitations, the ones that you've seen this year. It's typically for exterior renovations of the home, roofs, siding, windows, and those are also income-based. Blight removal, self-explanatory. The only thing that is the kicker there is that we have to do blight removal in low to moderate income census tracts. Non-homeless special needs. It's $30,000. Excuse me, I need to back up. For rehabilitations, it's $250,000. Blight removal is $250,000. And non-homeless special needs is $30,000. That's a rehabilitation to the interior of a home for handicap accessibility. So ramps, bathrooms, hallways, doorways, items like that. And then homelessness assistance, $15,000. That's where we typically provide improvements to or goods to homeless shelters in the city of Danville. The most recent we've done there is the dwelling place. Public services. This is where a not-for-profit in the city of Danville provides services to low to moderate income individuals, households, or presumed benefit individuals. So the last project we did for this was Project Success. And then finally, administration, which is $175,000, and that's just for the overall administration of the CDBG program.
Question?
Anybody else? I got one quick question. Yeah. In there, it said something about demos are in area, census areas 1, 2, 3, 7, 7. Where do I find what those areas are?
Yeah, so I think if you just look up Census Tract Finder, or I can just send them to you. So basically what all of those numbers are is every single low to moderate income census tract. Now, mind you, these aren't block groups, they're tracts. So all of those numbers are giant groupings of land in the city of Danville.
That was a new term for me.
Yeah, it's most of the city of Danville.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking up every census for our church for something, and people are saying it's 60-something. What is it, 39,000 or something average?
Now, I will tell you that is just in that narrative. We are not stuck to that. It is not an actual target area that we have to stick to doing demos in.
It says whole city.
Well, yeah. If we did miss one, we can still do a demo in that area if it qualifies income-wise.
That's all I have.
Yeah. This kind of mirror, I mean, with the Danville Housing Authority and different things, like, I mean, our CDGB dollars, and they sign off on this, and we sign off on.
So they don't have to sign off on our action plan. Yes, we'd like to work with them on this plan. We work with Ms. Vinson on a monthly basis. So yeah, we're in tune with the Danville Housing Authority.
Yeah, because years ago, that's how community development block grant dollars came.
Right.
To establish basically Section 8 in the city of Danville to receive community development block grant dollars.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Chairman O'Kane,
Yes.
Alderman Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9F is a resolution awarding the contracts for bid 719 for the 2023 crack seal ceiling, bid 720 for the 2023 overlay, 721 for the 2023 cape seal, bid 722 for this 2023 seal coat, bid 723 for the 2023 miscellaneous concrete improvements, bid 724 for the 2023 pressure pave, and bid 725 for Sager and Washington intersection improvements, and amending the fiscal year 2022-2023 budget. Wow, that's the longest one I've ever had to read. I need a motion and a second to put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
And I didn't have to ask to add all these. It could have been, each one could have been an item.
Yeah, I actually just do this to help myself, so I don't have to write 7 resolutions. And I like hearing you read these, so.
Next time, Logan's got to read the CDBG.
So most of you probably didn't see it, but I'm anticipating Mike O'Kane asking me a question about where the maps are for this. And Lisa reminded me of that before the meeting, so we're on to you, Mike. But anyway, I emailed you all a link to the map of the program improvements. We will have, I thought I'd already sent that out, but we were waiting on bid results from last Wednesday to make sure that we had adequate funds to do all the projects before we released it. We did, and I have not got it posted yet. So we'll work on a press release to go out. In all, I want to say, I don't remember the exact percentage, but I think we're impacting roughly 27% of the roads in the city of Danville this year in one form or another, which is, I think last year we were right just over 25% as well. So there is some overlap because we'll do one preservation treatment like crack seal one year, and then on the same road we'll do another one to extend the life the next year. But that's a very, exciting thing for me when we're nerding out on pavement management stuff. So anyway, if there's any questions, that map will be publicly it's the same one that you guys are going to see, the one we're going to release to the public, and it will show you what type of treatment we're doing in what areas. So that should answer a lot of questions about that.
Okay, he has one anyway.
All right, go for it.
What is pressure paving?
So pressure pave is a new treatment to us. It is really, we're doing a trial project on that, and so everybody will remember the gravel from last year, right? Prior to the microsurfacing. I wish you would forget, but nobody will. So that's not going away, but this is a option that may replace the need for that in some scenarios. So we're trying this out. It basically provides the same surface treatment, but a different oil and spray treatment ahead of time, and then you kind of skip the gravel step. So not going to work everywhere. Hopefully it works as well as it's supposed to, and we will see. It's been tried in Springfield, and they were happy with it in some other locations. So we're going to roll it out in Danville, and hopefully you all talk to me after it's done.
Tar chip and asphalt?
Yeah, so it's actually the pressure pave is the surfacing is like it's patented or whatever, but I'm going to say it's a lot like microsurfacing, which is the top coat, of what you saw on Vermilion Street and these other. But we get to skip the gravel layer, and instead of that, there's a oil that's kind of a mix between the oil that goes on a seal coat or an oil and chip layer and a crack seal material that's designed to penetrate cracks and kind of seal that. So like I said, well, it's a patented technology, so hopefully it goes well. We think we're setting them up for success. So like I said, hopefully you're still all talking to me after this, but it's a slightly more expensive option than Cape Seal, but if it works and avoids a lot of the issues and things like that in certain scenarios, it may be worth it to pursue that. So
People didn't really like the gravel, but it worked.
It certainly does. And to that same note, we've changed our specifications to require, like, we're learning as we go on a lot of this stuff, and we've changed the specifications to require street sweeping by the contractor rather than by the city after that's done, to provide. That will cost us a little bit more money, but hopefully we'll ensure that, because we're not built to do that much, in one fell swoop, and don't have street sweepers that are durable enough to handle that on a regular basis. So that's one aspect, and the timing of that application and the follow-up application. Those specifications have been tightened, and hopefully the contractors are able to deliver on that requirement. So that should make it more tolerable. I'm not going to say it's going to make it nice, but more tolerable.
Does this pressure pave seem to be working on any surface?
So it's basically on an asphalt surface in general. that you would be doing it over asphalt that is somewhat deteriorated, but not so bad that it has to be milled and overlaid yet. So it's, like most of our treatments, there's a kind of a sweet spot of where they do what they're supposed to do. And if we try to apply it outside of that, it will kind of work, but not work as well as what it's supposed to. So we are blurring the lines on that a little bit because we're playing plenty of catch up throughout the city of Danville. But I guess we'll see what it does.
Well, naturally, I've had a lot of complaints in my ward about the gravel,
Yeah.
People, but I see them driving 50 miles an hour. Naturally, you're going to sling some rock.
Yeah.
But overall, I've been very satisfied with the road conditions
Right.
in my ward.
Well, and what people don't a lot of Holiday Hills, a lot of neighborhoods all over town, and frankly, 1/3 of our pavement in the city of Danville is tar and chip or oil and chip or seal coat, chip seal, whatever you want to call it. And those roads were originally constructed as that. That was something that was a standard pavement construction and allowed by the city when those were built. And converting them to an alternate pavement is a major undertaking, as far as expense goes. So we've come up with a decent system to, maintain them where they are. And usually year one is a little messy and rougher. And then a couple of years down the road, you start to like it, and then you start to not like it again. And then we've got to do the process all over again. So it's it's just one of the things we deal with. To stretch our budgets long enough, and frankly, to just maintain the roads of the condition they were originally built as. So.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, roll call, please. Should I reread it? Okay.
Alderman Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Four,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9G, items of information.
Yes, I do have one, and it's not a pleasant one. We had a catastrophic failure of our horizontal grinder at the yard waste site.
No.
Huh?
How old is that?
9 years old. It appears that perhaps a piece of iron got ingested into it, and it caused damage to the drum. The drum tried to go through the side of the machine. It ruined the drum, the cutters, the frame of the machine, and the screens. We hauled it to Vermeer Midwest, where we got it. Everybody hold on to their hats. $127,000 to repair it. To repair it. Now, I didn't get a call back today from the salesman. I'm trying to get a price of a brand new one. But a used one 4 years old is $450,000. So I would assume a brand new one is in excess of $700,000. So my suggestion here would be to repair this. I'm sure you're going to get at least 10 more years out of it, as long as something doesn't get ingested in it again. And that's no one's fault. You can't see what's inside of some of these trees when we cut them down. But anyway, if we can approve this, then I will, because it's like an emergency repair here. We do have the old tub grinder that we never did get rid of, thankfully. We're going to spend around $10,000 to get it in good enough shape to last us till we get this one back. We did run some product through it last week and found out what was wrong with it. It needs some rollers put on it, hydraulic lines. It needed a fuel tank repaired on it. So we will have a grinder to process. We're not going to process any wood. We can store that in the back of the facility without it affecting our permit, but we have got to be able to, on a daily basis, process the yard waste that comes in. We're currently a week behind on doing that, so we do have a little bit of a pile out there. The mechanics and John, the manager out there, told me today that they're going to actually operate it tomorrow. I just told them we got to treat it with kid gloves so that we can get through this without any other incidents. And I don't know, I think Alderman O'Kane, and I know you were here, Alderman Poor, when we were still down at the old landfill and we had to contract out getting the wood pile, and that was like $25,000 for a week. And I believe that gentleman was here for 2 weeks. So as you see, to try to rent a unit or to get somebody else to come in and do this for us is very expensive. And then we end up with nothing. So my recommendation would be we do have money we can, in solid waste currently in this fiscal year that I can transfer into line items to cover this. We still have a surplus at the end of the year as well in solid waste. So I'm not ever going to say that something like this hit at a good time, but it's better now than it would have been if this would have started in May or June of the next fiscal year, or any fiscal year as far as that goes.
Carl, is there any magnet or screen type thing any way to see what's inside?
I don't believe there is.
Magnetic or?
You know, if you've not been out there, you need to go out there and look and see the size of some of the wood that comes in. I'm sure everybody has seen an old iron post stuck in a tree somewhere during their lifetime. And if a tree wraps itself completely around that and has been that way for 40 years, that iron post is not going to turn to pure rust and deteriorate. Kind of preserves it. And there's no way to see something like that. I don't know that a magnet would pick it up through that much wood, 10 or 15, 20 years worth of wood growth around it. So.
But you're thinking this would get another 10 years out of the
The motor was good. We hadn't any other trouble. We have only spent, I wrote it down here somewhere, 20, and I don't know where I read it. I believe it was right at $30,000 in 7 years on that unit, which isn't a lot. I think it's averaged, when I did the printout, it averages $25 per operating hour, which is not a tremendous amount of money. Now, the old tub grinder, which is a 2002, and keep in mind, the city didn't keep records before I took over in 06. We have spent, with the $8,000 that we're dumping in it right now, $103,000 on that from 2006 until 2014 when we bought the horizontal grinder. So the horizontal grinder has been a lot more cost effective than the tub grinder was. It's a lot safer actually as well. So
it's a feeling that it's an emergency repair and we just bring it back to.
I would have a resolution for the full city council next week, yes.
Is it okay to move it forward?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I would, once again, though, I would encourage you all to at some point in time, make a trip out the yard waste site just to see that operation, because
Get rid of the potholes.
potholes, that's a country road.
Oh.
You're supposed to play John Denver when you drive
It's a
down there.
county road too, right?
It's county road, township road.
Okay. Any questions for the director? Okay. No need for a closed session.
Oh, excuse me, but I do want to add one other
Oh,
thing.
okay.
I'm pretty sure that Chief Yates had informed the full council at one time or another about their cooperation with District 118 in buying the speed readers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't noticed them up yet, Rob Dietzen, the sign guy, and a few of the other street and sewer gentlemen have helped him in the last week and a half get those put up. There are now one going in both directions on Jackson Street in the North Ridge area. There's one heading west at the high school. There's one on Griffin Street. There's one on English Street. Is that it? That's 2, 4, 5. There's 7 total of them. Anyway, they are programmable. We've got them all programmed for the actual speed limit on the street. And as you're approaching them, if you're exceeding the speed limit, it's going to read your speed in a red. Once you slow down to the proper speed limit, it turns green. Little message board on there tells you thank you. I've been behind several vehicles in the last week, observing them, and today was the first time I seen an individual not slow down, but actually seem to speed up as he passed it. I guess he felt guilty and didn't want to read it, but in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, he was doing 37. Thankfully, Chris told me that these things have the technology to read all that, send the information back to the police department so that they can see when there might be people speeding quite often, so that they can patrol that area during certain hours. It will just give them all kinds of information as to what the traffic's doing. He told Dave and I the other day that this thing can do traffic counts for us too. Yeah, so engineering we could literally take one of them and move it wherever we wanted to in the city if we wanted to do a traffic count. So, but I'm very appreciative of Rob and the group of guys and gals that helped him get them put up, and Chris is very appreciative, and I'm sure the school district is going to be appreciative of it as well. It was money well invested.
Are they camera capable? Are they able to take pictures?
No,
Highlighters?
not as they are,
Yeah.
no. We've already got those though, remember?
Carl, does it record the time of the day if someone is speeding on those?
Yeah, the only thing it won't do is tell them, it's like I say, don't have a camera on it for them to see. It just collects the data and sends it back to the police department. And Chief Yates could give you more information on that. We
I've
were
noticed
really
one-
just involved in
I've
installing
noticed
them
one
for
on
them.
Fairchild right prior going under the
Yep,
overpass
yep.
there.
Yep,
I've seen them putting it up and I've been observing it, so yeah, it's nice.
yep.
Yeah, I
But
saw the
again,
one
just
from-
for public reiteration, this is not to give people tickets. It
Nope.
doesn't even have that capacity.
Nope,
No, and
just to
especially
get
since
you
you're
to slow
doing it
down
around-
the school
yeah,
zones.
you're doing it around schools, yeah, that's the key,
Exactly.
where they should be slowing down.
Okay. Anybody else? Alderman Pickering, anything?
I have a, yes, I do. I'm on the board of the East Central Illinois Community Action Agency, and we're having our annual dinner on April the 21st. So, and I do have tickets, so if anyone would be interested in going, just come to me.
Chief, anything? No? Ashlyn, anything? Computers are back? Everybody have their new computers back?
I still need a piece.
Oh. Okay.
We do have our first HHA meeting Thursday night of this week. I passed out a few pamphlets. If you don't get enough of Carl at your regular meetings, Carl will be our main speaker. I want to be sure to nail him before he retires and loses contact with us, but,
Retire?
yeah. I heard there might be a retirement someday.
Well, someday.
Someday.
But anyway, we're having our first meeting, and since COVID, we've struggled to get a decent crowd. Well, I've actually had 5 people in our association that have passed, nothing to do with COVID, just in nursing homes or moved away to family to take care of them, that type of thing. And so we still run close to around 20 people, but it's encouraging to see other people come in, whether they're involved with the city or not. So if anyone that can, I'd appreciate, it's over to Family Church on Holiday in Bowman there, where the front of the church has an arch on it. And Carl will be our main speaker from 6 to 6:30. We'll have a time of fellowship and refreshments, and then turn it over to Carl. And then after all that, we're going to have our election for our officers also. But anyway, if you can come out and support us, we'd appreciate it.
Okay. And we also have the big neighborhood, all neighborhood
Yes,
meeting in April.
at Harrison Park, what, the 29th?
29th.
Seems like the 29th of April.
Yeah.
Plus, we've got the Fireman's Banquet coming up Saturday of this week also.
Mayor, you have anything?
Yes, unfortunately, you probably saw the news release that Brazee Tower, the appellate court reversed the circuit court's decision on that, so possession and the deed have returned to the Collins. We will continue to fight on the other 2 counts, which are demolition and code violations. So We don't have any further dates or anything on that yet, but as soon as we do, I'll keep you and the public posted.
Does that mean they receive keys back to be able to access the building?
I'm sure that they will.
Do we assess any cost for stuff we've done?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. If they own the building, there's a lot of cost for safety that the city's done, which should be sent to them.
We have placed liens on it previously, I know. But you can't get blood out of a turnip.
No. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. Did we get through everything, I think? Might have.
I think we did, Chairman.
Okay. Item number 13, adjournment. Haven't satisfied the agenda. Need a motion for adjournment, please?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
I still need my power.